My brothers and sisters. Today's title is Disobeying Jesus by Spreading His Fame. We're going to talk about two guys who were healed of blindness, and that's what they do at the end of the story. Now, we've been in chapter 9, which has an amazing litany of the authority of Jesus. In chapter 9 alone, he's had authority over life and death, over a 12-year chronic medical condition, over whether he's Lord of the fast or not, over having fellowship with sinners and who gets to be in God's family and who doesn't, over the call, over the authority to forgive sins, over two guys that are paralyzed, over the demonic world, over the wind, whether wind and waves obey him. What sort of man is this that even the winds and the sea obey him? And when the sea was rebuked, the sea gave an answer to the guy that rebuked him. Over leprosy, and then over sickness of Peter's mother-in-law and many of the people of Capernaum, as he took our illnesses and bore our diseases. And then we find Jesus also in chapter 9 being a worthy object of faith of the ruler whose daughter had died, or the centurion whose servant was sick, or the woman who was hemorrhaging for 12 years, and if I could just touch the fringe of his garment. So we see Jesus time and time again in every way but Sunday here, he having power over the seen world and power over the unseen world. Power over every realm, every evil, every affliction, every oppression, every so-called authority. And then also with righteous judgment at the end. So yes, this all implies wrath and consequence and reckoning for sure. But it's also, and I think this is the point that I want to get to today, the big one, is there is a restraint of reckoning. We call this mercy. Mercy is power. And he demonstrates the authority over every known and unknown power, and he has every right, every ability. And yes, he can and will throw his spiritual weight around, throw an elbow around too where necessary. But his glory shines when the tables turn towards forgiveness, when the tables turn towards mercy. Now, is there anything harder when wrath is placed on the innocent of Jesus, to the Jesus of God's Trinity family, that he takes the hit for us, that our God is capable and willing to give us less than we deserved in the mercy department, and to give us more than we deserve in the grace that he extends. So this is our security. This is our Almighty. Psalm 91 talks about us resting in the shadow of the Almighty, in the shelter. So we're protected. But why? Because he's strong. He's mighty. Listen to this, Psalm 91, verse 1. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. So we can abide because he is almighty. And we can shelter because he is most high. And we dwell secure because he has all these authorities and power, which he extends to us and for us. And so it's kind of summarizing chapter 9, forgiveness and healing, imposed will on all those who oppose him, and I think most gloriously, at least in my mind here today, this imputed righteousness on those who bow down before him. So that's not a sign of the Lord's weakness, that's a sign of the Lord's strength. Now in our reading here today, Jesus is going to be called the Son of David. Now, why is that? Psalm 89 kind of describes it in 3 verses. 29, I will establish his offspring forever, and his throne of David, as the days of heaven. Verse 36, his offspring, David's offspring, shall endure forever. His throne as long as the sun before me. Like the moon, it shall be established forever, the throne of David. A faithful witness in the skies. So like the sun and the moon, the throne of David is going to last forever. Well, how does it do that? Well, Jesus occupies the throne of David from the time of his coming and forever on. And the guys in the story today are going to call him Son of David because they understand it. They understand the rescue plan. They get the Old Testament. And they believe. Here's our official passage for today, but it's really all just about this great stuff about Jesus. Jesus heals two blind men. Matthew chapter 9, verse 27. And Jesus passed on from there, and two blind men followed him, crying aloud, have mercy on us, Son of David. When he entered the house, the blind men came to him, and Jesus said to them, "Do you believe that I am able to do this?" They said to him, "Yes, Lord." And then he touched their eyes, saying, "According to your faith, let it be done to you." And their eyes were opened, and Jesus sternly warned them. This is my favorite part. I laughed out loud. "See that no one knows about it." But they went away and spread his fame throughout all the district. And I think they were forgiven for this, where they just couldn't help themselves after they were unblinded. Sorry, Jesus, I just had to spread your fame. Where? Everywhere. Why? Because you're the right objects of faith in the restoring of sight. We believed we saw something in you before we actually saw it. That's what faith is. Is having faith before you see something. And in their case, literally. And I think the Lord extended them grace as they spread his fame forever. Let's go and do the same. Thank you for listening.